What's going on YouTube? What's up boys and girls? Dom from the Game Looters here. Welcome to another Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield video right here on the channel. Today guys, we're talking about the Isle of Armor. So there's some really cool things that just happened today for Isle of Armor. There is a new 5-minute gameplay video that we're going to cover here in just 1 second. But then there's also previews that have been surfacing all over the internet. There has been several sources out there that handle gaming news and websites, and they run it, and they have now gotten a lot of new previews for the Isle of Armor. Our friends over at IGN have actually put a whole 30-minute preview for the Isle of Armor, and I want to touch on a couple of things, and then we'll get into the trailer and kind of react to some of the new gameplay features that we're going to see in just a couple of days in Pokemon Sword and Shield, the Isle of Armor expansion. So one of the things I want to talk to you guys about is, the first thing is leveling. So in the preview, they noted that leveling is going to actually happen in the DLC, the Isle of Armor. Now what that means is, let's say you go in with a Pokemon that is level 100. If you're like me, you may have a lot of your battle team, a lot of your Pokemon already at level 100, and you may have them hyper train and everything else because the game just has been out for a while. So the one thing to note is you may find a challenge here because there is going to have leveling. So that means that the Pokemon that you face will then level up to where you are at. So it'll provide better challenge for those who are more of a veteran state. And for those who aren't yet at the max level, then what the preview stated was that Pokemon will be at around level 60. So if you made it to mostly end game in Pokemon Sword and Shield, then you're going to be right at home and right where you need to be to take on the expansion. Now, the second thing that they noted here in the preview was that you are going to be able to access this very early. So what that means is this is going to be part of like the wild area and kind of an extension of the wild area. So that means if you are pretty early in the game, whether you're playing Sword or whether you're playing Shield, you're going to be able to access this pretty early because it is part of the wild area. So therefore that means that when you can access that, you can also access the DLC. So whether you're just a beginning player who is just starting in Pokemon Sword and Shield, if you've recently picked up the adventure, then no worries, you only need to spend a few hours in the game before you can take advantage of this new DLC. So that is really awesome. There's another couple of things that they did cover in the preview as far as Pokemon and what they saw. I'll kind of touch on them as we react to the new gameplay, but let's go ahead and jump into the new gameplay, and we'll kind of live react, and we'll tell you guys exactly what we see here on the new 5 minutes of gameplay. And of course, before we transition over to the gameplay, make sure that you guys, yes, you have a job to do. We have like this connection now. We're basically like trainers in sync, fighting for the same cause, and that is to become the best like nobody ever was. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button right now, and make sure you guys smash the like button like it owes you a ton of Pokeballs. All right, let's go ahead and transfer over to the gameplay. Alright guys, so now we're here in the gameplay, and the gameplay starts off with us kind of running around in the wild area. So like I said, this new gameplay features of the Isle of Armor is basically one big island. It's an extension of the existing wild area. So what that means to you, what that means to me is that Pokemon are going to be free roaming kind of just everywhere, all over the place, which is super awesome. So that means whether you're looking out in the vistas on the ocean, whether you are just running around, you're going to be able to see Pokemon kind of in their own habitats. So what they're calling them is, within the new Isle of Armor, they're calling them like micro areas, to where you're going to find different species of Pokemon like Shinx here, who are going to be kind of living their normal day-to-day stuff, which is really cool because apparently, at least from the preview, is they saw different Pokemon hanging from trees, hanging out, which we're assuming you're going to be able to kind of like use your whistle function to kind of get them to come over to you if you are wanting to take them on. And then what's really awesome too is we see here that there's going to be different Dynamax areas and different areas to where you can trade for Watts and get Dynamax Pokemon to come up. The other cool thing that they're adding in here as well is different mini games. So one of the mini games that you guys saw right now is actually Diglett. So apparently you're going to be able to find like 100 different Diglett as you kind of roam around. and that is going to be a game. As we see here too, it looks like we are actually traveling to the Isle of Armor. Like I said, it's an extension of the wild area, so you're going to be able to access this new island from the wild area. So as we see Corviknight kind of taking us over there, and then we see the new Doctor here, and I won't spoil exactly what happens in Sword and Shield. You guys definitely need to play through it, but she's a returning character here, which is really cool. So she kind of introduces us over here into the new Pokemon decks that we're going to get. So we're going to get an extension of our Pokédex to go ahead and search the Isle of Armor. We're immediately greeted with the new Galarian Slowpokes, which are really awesome. I actually got my shiny Slowpoke right before kind of the DLC was like announced and everything. Right when it was announced, we were able to get our shiny Slowpoke. So apparently it's gonna be like a shiny Slowpoke run. Then we see the new Pokemon, which is Kubfu, which in the previews as well, it was mentioned that as you are training in the dojo and stuff, that Kubfu is actually going to be kind of watching over you, basically judging you as a trainer to decide if it wants to come on your adventure or not. And then also, too, there are the two different Kubfu types, which are the Urshifus that you guys can choose from as well. And if you guys notice that as well in the preview right now, is on top of that, on top of the tower there's like a little Kubfu sign. I really, really love that Kubfu is like really the main stake at this DLC Isle of Armor. Toxtricity makes a return as we take on another Slowpoke here. And again, as you guys saw, the normal leveling or the normal level of the Pokemon are level 60. So again, you're going to be right in the right spot if you were towards kind of the last few gyms of the Sword and Shield proper. So you're going to be right in the right spot here. I like how we're taking on a Magikarp too. Okay. And then now we have Slowpoke's evolution, which is the Slowbro, which I like his new arm cannon, definitely like a new poison arm cannon. I am a really big, and we see the Kubfu in the back too. Wow. I'm a big fan of poison types in Pokemon. I like poison. I like that as a feature. Oh wow! And we get new bike types. Do you guys see that? We're gonna get new bike types. Obviously, new costumes, new aesthetics for us, which is really cool. I'm always really excited about new things to wear. And apparently, if you get like the new Zaru, the new mythical Pokemon, apparently you're going to be able to get Ash's hat for the new anime, which is really cool too. More info on that to come as we kind of investigate exactly how you guys get that. I'll put out a whole separate video in the future of how to get that. I'm pretty sure it involves buying a movie ticket from Japan, which is pretty crazy, but we'll cover that in a future video. So we see more time playing here. I'll be honest, I don't spend enough time in this section of the game. I do come into this section pretty often, but it's mostly by accident. I typically don't pitch a tent anywhere, so there is that. So that, guys, is the new gameplay. That's the new gameplay here that we see. So you guys now can tell me down in the comments down below, what was your favorite part of the new gameplay? What are you guys most excited about in the Isle of Armor? Let me know down in the comments down below. Now, kind of just to wrap up here as far as some of the things that we learned in the preview. So we have the different micro areas that exist. There is different ones. Apparently, in the IGN preview, they were able to see Wailord kind of from the water. So they're gonna have the large masses that are definitely represented well. We also have, at least in the session that they saw the battle taking place in the dojo, where you're gonna be introduced to the Move Tutor. Where you'll be able to accept your Armorite ore as payment. And then the new Dojo Master, which is Mustard, explains about the apprentices that you must complete 3 different trials in order to get the sacred armor of the dojo, which is cool. And then there's also a new thing called the Max Mushrooms, which are used to create the Max Soup, which is going to unlock the ability for Pokemon to Gigantamax. So obviously your 3 different starters, your Sobble, your Grookey, and your Score Bunny are going to be able to Gigantamax when they fully evolve, and you're going to be able to get a max suit. So just a lot of cool stuff that's coming out with Isle of Armor in just a couple of days. We hope that you guys stick right here with the channel, guys. We hope that you guys enjoyed this reaction and reveal to some of the new information that's been revealed about Isle of Armor. On the launch day of it, you guys can expect at least a 2 to 3 hour stream of the new DLC. So we hope that you guys come back or watch the replay if you're watching this later on in the future. A lot more Pokemon content to come right here on youtube.com/thegamelures. Make sure you guys hit the screen right now, and that'll take you over to another Pokemon video that you guys should be watching. And make sure you guys hit subscribe, slap the like button like it owes you Pokeballs, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.